Alright guys, Watchman's Post coming to you again. Gonna cover another one. This will probably be my last one for today. But it's a little different. This one's going to involve China and Russia. And I'm going to read you a little article, and depending on how much time I got left, I'll try to show you the relevance biblically of what all's going on. So check this out. Let's get into this. This is from Sputnik News. If you've noticed, I've done a lot from Sputnik. I really like Sputnik stuff. Like I said, so far I haven't found anything very long. This is U.S. to jettison spy planes, satellites due to Russian Chinese missiles, reports. So they're saying Russia and China have missile activity, and the focus is on our capabilities and what we're doing in response to their changes. So this is obviously referring to what? World War III. So let's read a little bit of the article. It's pretty short here. It says, the U.S. Air Force is about to abandon expensive surveillance aircrafts and satellites, opting for an information network out of concerns of Russia and China's increased space capabilities. The United States has decided to ditch a $7 billion surveillance aircraft program in favor of an information network that connects sensors from manned and unmanned aircraft, satellites, ships at sea, and ground troops. The Pentagon assumed that large and inexpensive satellites were more vulnerable to electronic and kinetic attacks, while smaller aircrafts would be more resilient. The Air Force believes that this concept will allow the United States to prevail in future conflicts, with the budget proposal shifting money from hardware to software. So instead of doing, satellites in space, they're wanting to do a lot more of drone stuff, is generally what I'm getting from that. They're saying satellites. The new satellites are expected to have more room for fuel, so they may move quickly to a different orbit or deploy countermeasures if attacked. So a different type of satellite. Such Air Force weapon systems as the airliner-sized J-STARS, radar surveillance aircrafts, were deemed easy targets in a potential conflict due to the fact that Russia and China were developing high-speed missiles, advanced ground and space surveillance technologies. If you look it up, Russia and China are doing what they're calling supersonic missiles. And that's what they're saying here, developing high-speed missiles. It's on, folks. The build-up is on. Russia's building up. China's building up. And you see, this article is basically talking about we're changing our posture and changing things up and getting ready for what? World War III. Early in February, the Office of Director of National Intelligence presented a report on Russia and China's space capabilities. U.S. intelligence also predicted that the destructive Russian and Chinese anti-satellite weapons probably would reach the initial operation capability in the next few years. So it's a real quick article, short article, but the gist of what I'm trying to show you here is that America is concerned about Russia and China. They're doing things that we're concerned about. Our government's concerned about it. Our government's taking it serious, and they're changing their posture and adjusting for position in preparations for a conflict. And this is just one article. You can look up Sputnik and just follow me on YouTube. Scroll through my feed. I retweet and like everything that involves stuff like this. Not just the Middle East, not just North Korea, but China, Russia. I keep up with this too, because it's a part of Bible prophecy. I'll scroll through here and show you. Daniel. There's a book of Daniel in the Bible. I'm sure, hopefully, a lot of you guys know. Daniel dreams about these beasts. He dreams of a bear, this lion with wings, a four-headed leopard with wings, and this they're depicting as a dragon with 10 horns. And different people have different interpretations, but generally the scholars, all scholars agree that The bear is Russia. And, you know, if you continue to read Daniel's, you know, dream about this lion here, the wings are plucked off, and they go and they become a separate entity. The lion's left without wings, and the wings become its own beast, and it's given the heart of a man. So most scholars say the bear is Russia, the wings come off and they become America, and the lion is England. They argue about what the 10-horned beast is, and nobody ever really touches the leopard. And my interpretation, God's led me to believe that this 4-headed leopard beast is Iran, and the 4 heads representing the 4 nations that they have infiltrated lately. And I'll show you some more. I'll make a few of these pictures to try to give people what my interpretations are. Here's the bear again, and I'll read it for you. It says, Daniel 7:5, and behold, another beast, the second like to a bear, and it raised up itself on one side, and it had 3 ribs in the mouth of it, and between it the teeth of it. And they said thus unto it, Arise, devour much flesh. And like I said, most scholars agree that the bear is Russia. And I go a step further and say that I believe these 3 ribs, I feel that God's led me to believe that it involves the brick. And you can look it up. It's an acronym. Each letter represents a word: Brazil, Russia, India, and China. So the bear, the body of the bear, would represent Russia. And these other 3 ribs in his mouth would represent him carrying those other countries as a temporary union there. And I made this little image just through text on the image. World War III is coming. Only Jesus can save you. Let's see. I've got to pull a few other ones up here. You know, Daniel dreams about these beasts at first, and they're all separate. But if you go into Revelation, John also dreams about these similar creatures. I think he's dreaming about the same creatures that Daniel dreamed about. He's got the same God, giving him the same information, but the beast seems to be changed. So at one point, I think they were separate countries, separate entities, and I think they are merged together, like in this depiction here that someone made. Great abilities there. I believe they've all merged together, and I'll show you why. Why would God show these beasts merging together? Well, the beasts represent nations, obviously. And I believe it's because of the United Nations. All of these countries are represented and a part of the United Nations. So they would all be merged together through the United Nations. That final, beast would be the body of the United Nations, and the heads would represent different countries. And this one, he talks about another beast, and I'm depicting here. I think that this final beast representing the United Nations is going to have World War III with the bear and China. Daniel 7:7. After this I saw in night visions, and behold, a 4th beast, dreadful and terrible and strong exceedingly, and it had great iron teeth. It devoured and brake in pieces and stamped the residue with the feet of it. So this final beast shows up, and it makes war, and it eventually destroys the other ones, stamping them to a dust. And I showed here that the United Nations versus the brick, and that's my interpretation of what I think is going on there. With all these beasts that he's dreaming of, and John's dreaming of, representing a nation, could, just for a possibility, could it be that the dragon be the Chinese dragon? I'm not saying it is for sure. I'm just saying it's a possibility. China is a part of the UN. Could it be at some point that they they resurrect the UN after this World War III at some point. Time will tell. But I thought that's interesting that every single one of these other beasts definitely represent a nation. Why can't the dragon represent a nation too? It may. Just thought I'd throw that in there just to spark your interest. But here's another one from Zephaniah. Therefore wait ye upon me, saith the Lord, until the day that I rise up to the prey. For my determination is to gather the nations, that I may assemble the kingdoms, to pour upon them mine indignation, even all my fierce anger. For all the earth shall be devoured with the fire of my jealousy. So, Zephaniah is saying the same thing that John's saying in Revelation. God's going to come and judge the whole world. And it says, he judged the world, the past world, the pre-Noah world with water and a flood, and this time he's coming to judge the world in fire. Could it possibly be that most of the Revelation and be World War III? Would these nukes and bombs surely be representative of fire, brimstone, and hail and fire that we read about through the Bible? I believe so. I believe this right here is pretty plain. It's not as cryptic and symbolic as the beasts. He's flat out telling you he's going to gather the nations and he's going to pour fire on them all. He's going to judge them all. All throughout the Bible, God judges nations with the sword. I'll do a quick search for you. Let's see here. I like to use this one here, King James Bible. And we'll just put in sword. Show you real fast. I got a couple more minutes. And let's do New Testament only. Think not that I come to send peace on the earth. I come not to send peace, but a sword. Over and over the Bible talks about this sword. Let's see here. Let's go to Old Testament. Job's got a good one. Let's see if I can find Job's sword. Should have pulled this up before, but just to show you, it's good to do this so that you can see how easy it is to do a term search for yourself. Over and over, sword. In Gideon, they're talking about war. The trumpets and the sword. War. And that's the point I'm trying to make here. God said he's going to judge the world. He's calling, you to watch for a sword. Every man's sword. He drew his sword. Let's see, Judges. Let's just bounce here. They shall hold swords, being expert in war. Every man hath his sword upon his thigh. So all throughout the Bible, God talks about the sword. Thy men shall fall by the sword, and thy mighty men by war. That's awesome there. That sums it up. So showing you that symbolically, when God talks about the sword, don't get it confused. And if you already know, that's great. There's some people that get it confused. When God talks about the sword, he's not just talking about the word. He's talking about war. When he says, the word of his mouth is like a sword, he's saying, he's sitting on that throne, he's commanding angels, armies of angels, and he says, go and judge a nation. Those angels will go and they will cause a war. They always have. So by him calling for war, his tongue is like a sword. He calls for the sword. That's how he judges nations. I'm running out of time. I hope this sparks your interest. I hope you see that there's tons of things to follow. I don't follow just one thing here or there. World War III is coming soon. Russia, China, all these things. Keep an eye out. Keep faithful. Keep watching. God bless you in Jesus' holy name. Amen.